Hey, folks, had a conversation with someone's asking me, was it, or are you tired of being alone, and how do you deal with being alone? Um, how you deal with not, how you deal when you're yearning for those connections, and you definitely start to yearn for those connections, whether they be friends or family or relationship wise. Um, I was blessed enough to, like said, grew up with um, friends built in. Like I'm from Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, and the way our city is built, the way our housing is, the way our houses are, there we are in row homes, so it's a house next to the next house, next to the next house, next to the next house. So you can literally hear what's going on next door. When you come running down the steps and run outside, you can literally hear it in our house. So I say that to say it wasn't hard to make friends, right? It wasn't hard to make connections, put it that way, because some of the friends, like I said, those houses are so close. When you walk outside the door and look to your left, there's a neighbor. You look to your right, there's a neighbor. You can't help but make friends as a child anyway. And so, with that being said, because I kind of grew up with about 10 guys on that block, um, and we all grew up to and learned how to be men together and dealt with whatever we had to deal with, and we dealt with it together. And there wasn't a lot of fathers there. In fact, there was no fathers there actually, whether it be from somebody passing away or just life, whatever it is. So yeah, I was blessed enough to have friends early, right? Before I even knew what all this stuff was. And those friends, they learned how to deal with me like I learned how to deal with them, bottom line. And so there's other challenges, like I said, from being in the city that are more challenging than just being an introvert, just being quiet. In fact, when you're in the city being quiet, that's one of the that's one of the things people love to tell you to do. Mind your business. Um, you know what I mean? Stay out of people's business, and that's easy to do when you're an introvert. No problem. No problem for me. Stay out of people's business. Don't be loud. Don't make a lot of. Those are things that you may not have to do in a country setting or some other setting. But we had to. Those are some nutty rules that we had to abide by, and so they worked for me. It worked for my introversion. Um, so again, when people try to, or when people ask, how do I deal with introversion? Fast forward to today, and I deal with not being around people, not having that connection. I can all because I made those connections early in life, and I don't know if it's going to help you, but because I made them connections early in life, it's not really a issue for me. Um, not friends wise, or relationship wise, it could be a problem. So those connections, any connection I have now, I'm going to have to. It's probably going to be a new connection. I'm going to have to. Um, yeah, I'm going to have to cultivate that connection. That's going to be a new connection because any connections I had before clearly didn't work out. So I'm not going to go back to them. So I deem that a bad connection. So going forward, I don't have loneliness with friendships because all of those friends have things going on at some point in time. Um, like I said, thank God that I know these brothers and all those things. So that aspect of my life is fine. Again, relationship wise, yeah, I'm going to have to cultivate a new relationship. And I feel confident in doing it now because I know myself way better than I knew myself um, as a younger person or even not too long ago. Like I know that there's a conversation that has to happen about uh, introversion. That conversation has to happen. There is. You cannot start a relationship with someone and you're feeling the way you feel, and that person is not. You can't want to disappear all the time, and that person doesn't understand it. You just can't do it without having that conversation about introversion. You just can't have that a relationship without that conversation these days. You just can't, and it's easier for them to take in now than it was before. The label is all over the place now, so they've heard of it before, and they know more about it. Back in the day, they didn't, so they would have looked at you like you was crazy, like, oh, you know, snap out of it, you know, why you so quiet? Why you didn't say hello to my, people, or stuff like that. Um, you can't get away with that now. You must say something about it because people they call you out now. It's different now. You'll lose that connection with somebody because they don't understand your introversion. You'll lose that connection. Well, you'll lose that connection because they've never um, they've never dealt with an introvert. So you'll lose your girl, you lose your guy, you'll lose them because you just have to speak on this stuff now. And it has to be part of the conversation early in the conversation. Um, and like I said, I come from a place of love, and so I would do anybody that I'm trying to connect with an injustice if I didn't speak on it, and they would do me an injustice if they didn't hear me, right? And then they have the right to decide if they want to uh, deal with that or not. With anything in life, it's communication, right? They say we don't communicate. I promise you, this is a new era. You must communicate if you want to be happy, if you want to have that joy I speak of, and you're not one of those moody introverts and those dark people and those lonely people. There's no need to be lonely. There is absolutely no need to be lonely. Everybody's circumstance is different, but you got to find your tribe. If you haven't found your tribe, then you just haven't found your tribe yet. There is somebody out here for you. It's no such thing as, God made us to be with people. Like He didn't make us to be alone. That's not why. That's not how it goes. There are introverts out here living healthy, um, strong, loving connections. You deserve it more than anyone else would. I don't live like that. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not some sad introvert. I'm happy. I'm joyous. I love life. Like I'm not, on one hand I'm talking about I hate people. On the other hand, I'm talking about I'm lonely. No, we have to take full control of this introversion thing. It's a superpower. It's not a symptom of anything. So if you're lonely, then get at it. Get to peopling. Find your tribe. You just haven't found your tribe yet. It doesn't mean that it's over for you. Find your tribe. It's nothing. This thing called life ain't nothing. It ain't that deep. It's really not. Later.